coolers when the heat hits. That's why our signature tune-up is the best way to get your system summer ready.
One,
now,
two,
we're offering
check.
a preseason AC reset, a deep internal clean where our technicians remove built-up dust, restore airflow, and prep your home before temperatures spike. First-time customers get their preseason AC reset for just $39, normally $129. Appointments fill fast before the first heat wave. Go to coolwillies.com and click Book Now.
About 10 seconds.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Frager in the corner. Another one drops. 14 threes today for Nebraska. That'll do it. The drought is over. Nebraska has their first NCAA tournament victory.
Well, that was expected for most of us that filled out a bracket for this NCAA men's basketball tournament. Hooray! Nebraska finally off the schneid with a win in the big dance. Some other teams, as generally happens on the first day of the NCAA tournament, not so fortunate, and we almost had our third ever upset of a number one seed to start this dance here in 2026. Welcome to Vijas Arena in San Diego, California. DK on the Sports Tip coming to you live from the NCAA tournament. We've got practice day happening here. We are sitting courtside. We are actually in the spot where Brian Jeffries will be tomorrow, along with Ryan Hansen. And you can hear behind me, we've got bands playing here today. St. John's is on the floor right now here at the Vijas Arena. So this is the night bracket practices that are happening, and these are teams that are in the South region that are playing here in the Session 2 part of this tournament. You have got among those teams that are playing here, Northern Iowa. St. John's is also here this week. You've got Villanova in the building as well. And Utah, obviously Villanova and Utah playing in the West Regional with the University of Arizona. But just a fun time right now. Not as large a crowd. I was here 4 years ago now, 2022 I think was the last time that we were here in this region playing in San Diego. And the crowds were, I thought, larger for the practice day than what we've got today. But still a lot of folks here. Kansas will be here. They'll be. I think they're the last practice of the day in this the East region. I think I said South. It's the East region. St. John's, Northern Iowa, Kansas, and Cal Baptist, the 13th seed, will also be practicing here coming up during our show tonight. The Wildcats were on the floor a little bit earlier. If you missed any of that, head on over to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. We've got a bunch of pictures and videos up from the Wildcats workout here earlier. And they had the press conference. You may have heard that here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Tommy Lloyd will let you hear some more of those comments coming up as well here today as we move forward. Action-packed, got a lot to get to. We're going to talk to Philip Constantino. He is the play-by-play man for Long Island. He'll join us on the show today. Also, Roxy Bernstein, who's calling games in the NIT, longtime friend of the show. We'll get Roxy's thoughts on the NCAA tournament as he called games for a number of these teams throughout the season on ESPN. Ryan Finley is going to join us on the show, the former sports editor at the Arizona Daily Star, now the sports editor out here in San Diego at the Union Tribune. We'll get Ryan's thoughts on this event happening here in his fair city this year. Plus, you're going to hear from the players. Had a chance to catch up with Toby Awaka, Ivan Karchinkov, Anthony Del Orso, and Koa Pete in the locker room this morning here out in San Diego. We got on the road at 3 a.m. Got up at 3 a.m., got on the road about 4:20, and pulled in here to San Diego a little bit after 10 o'clock, so a little bit under the 6-hour norm. I mean, it's, there's for half the drive, there's nobody on the road at all, which was kind of nice. And it is a absolutely beautiful warm day. The temperatures here are much like the temperatures in southern Arizona today. It is absolutely hot as we wrap up winter. It surely has not felt like winter throughout a large portion of the West. All right, I am in San Diego. We've got J.W. Madden back in studio. J.W., we've already had some excitement in this NCAA tournament today. We started off the highlight, Nebraska. We've talked about this now for a couple of years. And finally getting their first ever NCAA tournament. It's so hard to believe that they'd never won a game in this tournament.
I'm not sure exactly, DK, when the last Power 4 team other than Nebraska won their first game. I just know it's been 10 years or more that we've been talking about Nebraska being the only Power 4 team without a single NCAA tournament win. So we all know the story about what Coach Hoiberg did down there, getting off to 21 consecutive wins to start the season. So really, really happy to see the Cornhuskers. But DK, they were not the only team today to get their first NCAA win. High Point also got their first NCAA win. So, here's the thing. The college football playoff is the same 8 teams and the same 8 names every single year, with maybe one exception. The reason the NCAA tournament is so special is because everybody has hope when the season starts, DK. You just have to win your conference tournament, and who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and be up by 10 points on the number 1 overall seed late in a game. Anything can happen, and to me, that's the greatest thing about the NCAA tournament.
Who had High Point? This guy. Woohoo! High Point. I had them in my bracket. I filled it up last night. They win it 83-82 today to knock out the Wisconsin Badgers. So I at least got one of my upset picks right.
And what a story, right? If listeners didn't see, a young man by the name of Chase Johnson hit a layup with 11 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And why is that such a story? Well, before that shot, DK, he was 64 out of 138 on the season from the field. All 64 of those made field goals were 3-pointers. So that was the very first 2-point shot that Chase Johnson made all season long, and it came with 10 seconds to go, which was the final margin of victory in that big upset win over Wisconsin.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program today to chat with us here in San Diego. Duke obviously beats Siena 71-65, but this was a game Duke trailed for a large majority of it. They were down double digits coming out of halftime, and everybody was wondering, wow, is this going to be the third time we have seen a number 1 seed fall in the first round? It did not happen as Duke rallied to win that game in a game, J-Dub, where Siena basically did not use their bench.
Yeah, so I was reading up on this, DK. There's an injury, but also one of their starters named Antonio Chandler, was ruled ineligible just last week. He's a 7-year guy, and the NCAA came down and said he would not be eligible for the MAC tournament championships. He's not playing in the NCAA tournament. As a result, Siena only had 5 players, DK, that played the entire game. I saw the box score at halftime, and their 5 players were 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and 20 minutes. The story is that with 10 seconds to go in the game, in which Siena had a good 10-point lead at most of the second half and the late first half versus the Duke Blue Devils, DK, they made their first substitution of the game with 10 seconds left to go. So just one of those stories where Siena really played way, way above their expectations. I think they were a 22-point underdog. Just did not quite have enough gas. I watched the last couple of minutes. Their legs weren't quite there. A couple of air balls down the stretch. But unbelievable fight for Siena, only playing 5 players and almost beating the top overall seed today. That would have been the third ever 16-over-1.
Did not happen, though, and Duke is on to round 2. TCU also wins. I picked a lot of the Big 12 teams to advance, at least in the first round. TCU was one of those as well. However, I've already lost one of my Sweet 16 teams. I jumped on the upset bus of South Florida, but they could not finish it against Louisville as they fall today 83-79. So Louisville is on to the next round where they're likely going to face Michigan State up big in the second half against North Dakota State. J-Dub, I have, how about this? I have 2 teams here in San Diego in my Final Four. One of them, I'll tell you, is Arizona. Who do you think the other team is?
Who do I think the other San Diego Final Four team is? I don't know.
Yes.
I have to think about it. I'm not even sure. Because
So,
of the pod
so
system.
you've got here are the teams you've got Cal Baptist, Kansas, Northern Arizona, St. John's, and then you've got Villanova and Utah State.
I mean, I would imagine it's St. John's or Kansas.
St. John's.
Yeah, I mean, St. John's has been playing really well lately.
Somehow I ended up with St. John's beat. Well, I think a lot of people actually have St. John's being the team that could potentially knock Duke out because of what we've talked about and the fact that Duke has some injuries coming in to this tournament. So, yeah, I've got St. John's as one of my Final Four teams. I've got Houston playing St. John's in the Final Four. I have Arizona playing Michigan. I struggled with, I'll be honest with you, I struggled with my Arizona-Arkansas pick. That was one I had to think about for a long, long time because I think that Arkansas is the team. If there's going to be a team that knocks Arizona out, I think it could be Arkansas with the way Darius Acuff is playing. But I ended up
Plus,
picking.
you like their coach a little bit.
Oh yeah, I do. I'm a big John Calipari fan, and let me tell you, Rick Pitino's looking very New York with his white sweatsuit on out here. It reminds me of the story that Motias Krivas' girlfriend told a few weeks ago when she said he showed up at Halloween in a white sweatsuit as the Lithuanian mafia. Yeah, that's Rick Pitino's got his vintage New York sweatsuit on right now. And he's looking very good in it. So, yeah, I've got St. John's in the Final Four. I've got Arizona fans, unfortunately, are going to be disappointed. I do not have Arizona winning this in my bracket. I have Michigan upsetting Arizona and getting to the finals, and Michigan winning it all. In my bracket.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not much of an upset, I wouldn't say. It's been Michigan, Duke, and Arizona, I think, are the 3 teams at the top all year long. So, yeah, I mean, Michigan did struggle as well down the stretch, and Duke is obviously dealing with some injuries. But you look at the way Michigan and Florida end the season, not exactly they wanted to, but there's no doubt, DK, as far as two teams in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency, that's Arizona and Michigan.
Yeah. St. John's now taking their team picture. They've got everybody in their team picture. The mascot is in the team picture. The team, the cheerleaders, the palm line, everybody is in their picture. Like I said, I feel bad because Arizona didn't bring their band. Well, I'm sure the band will be here tomorrow, but they were not. A lot of the bands and cheerleaders have been here.
Bus.
Yeah,
bring all that equipment.
Exactly. A lot of the bands and cheer squads have been here for the open practice today, but not so far. The University of Arizona did not. But that's fine. They got their workout in here. This is really more of a public workout. Most of the teams practice at another location, go through their actual practices, and then they come here. And this is basically just an open shoot-around. They did do some drilling. Head on over again to our Twitter account, Wildcats1290. You'll see some of the drilling, ball movement drills, and big man post drills and that kind of thing. And then they ended it with the, I think probably something they do at most of their practices, and that's shooting half-court shots. I think I've got a video of Tommy trying to make his hot half-court shot. And everybody on this, it's cool. Everybody that's here with the team gets an opportunity to shoot that half-court shot and attempt to make it. I think there were a couple of makes. I believe, I'm trying to think of the one player that made one. It's off the top, because I didn't get the video of it off the top of my head. But there were a couple. I think there was one player that made it, and I think there was also one staffer that made the shots as well. So a lot of fun out here for this open practice day here at Vias Arena.
I could tell you why Johnny fans are so excited, because they've only played 2 NCAA tournament games in the last 10 years.
Yes.
So, I mean, what Rick Pitino's doing there, obviously St. John's a very proud fan base. Chris Mullen was their head coach for a while.
Right.
There couldn't quite get him over the hump, and then Mike Anderson as well. But everybody knows what Rick Pitino brings to the table. And the defense, that win they just had over UConn was so impressive after getting blown out. So, really excited St. John's fans. Yeah. I'm sure making the trip out there across the country.
So, St. John's, New York here, obviously 2 New York teams here with Long Island joining them, and obviously Villanova, so a couple teams from the Philadelphia and New York area that are here this week.
You mean those are like the bikini teams, because those are the teams that don't get sun very often.
Right.
Shipped out to San Diego. I'm sure their fans are excited about that.
Oh, you know it. You absolutely know it. What a perfect day to wrap up winter, to have temperatures in the 90s here out in San Diego. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Phil Constantino. He is the play-by-play man for the Long Island Sharks. We'll get an idea of what the Sharks are all about under Rod Strickland. 520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on the program. Coming to you live from Vias Arena on NCAA Tournament Open Practice Day. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. 4th Avenue Spring Street Fair this weekend. Road crews were scheduled to start closing 4th Avenue about lunchtime today, and 4th Avenue will be closed through the weekend between 8th Street and University Boulevard, with the exception of 6th Street, which will remain open. Collisions that are reported at Ina and Shannon, and also Park Avenue and Irvington. Clear and 65, the overnight low, sunny 103 tomorrow and 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Psst. Hey, Gary. Check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he?
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fussy-Pants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code Champion25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code Champion25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code Champion25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop? That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it. Your neighbor's kid does it. And yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword. Fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order, couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting
About 30
transforms
seconds.
your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Coming to you live from Vijas Arena in San Diego. It is the NCAA Tournament Open Practice Day as we get you set for round one here on Friday. Arizona going to be taking on Long Island, the Sharks. Let's find out a little bit about the Sharks. Joining us now is their play-by-play man, Phil Constantino. And Phil was here a little bit earlier with his squad as they, I think, were the first team that practiced here today. Phil, appreciate you taking some time to join us. How did your guys' workout go today?
It's good to be with you. The workout was, I think, a lot of fun for our guys. You know, the opportunity to have an open practice in front of all of the media, in front of the broadcast crews. You know, it's a unique experience. And, only one team from the NEC gets to come and do it every year. It was early because we're going to play pretty early local time tomorrow. That's a little bit abnormal. But it was a great experience for our players and for our coaching staff because it's not something that a lot of our kids are used to. None of them have played in an NCAA tournament before, and our coaching staff, none of them except our head coach, has coached in the NCAA tournament before, and our head coach has only been an assistant coach in the NCAA tournament. Yes, he's been to Final Fours. Yes, he's been in national championship teams. But as an assistant coach, and he played, obviously, as a player back in the day in the NCAA tournament. But it's a unique and it's a fun experience for our guys.
Well, obviously, the head coach is Rod Strickland, longtime NBA great. I mean, our head coach, Tommy Lloyd, was just gushing about Rod Strickland being one of his favorite players growing up with the Portland Trailblazers. It has been a slow build over the course of the last 4 years as this team has progressively gotten better and better and better going into this year, obviously, and you guys coming in here with 24 wins on the season. How has Rod Strickland built this?
Yeah, it took him a little bit of time to learn. You know, he's 59 years old, soon to be 60. He didn't become a head coach till after he was 55. A lot of years in coaching as an assistant. He worked a little bit in the NBA league office, working with the G League guys. But he didn't become a head coach until later in life. And he's sort of, there's no simulation for becoming a head coach in college ball for the first time. He had to learn. And he also got the job rather late. It happened quickly in the summer in July 4 years ago. And so he had to take time to instill his culture, take time to recruit his players. Year one, they only won 3 games. Year two, they felt like they were making progress, but there were some injuries that hurt them, and they only won 7 games. Credit to the university and credit to him and his staff for sticking with it. Credit to some of the players who have stuck with him. Year 3, when I came along and joined the program, they really had it rolling. And last year, they finished over 500. It was a definite turn of the corner. Finished number 2 in the NEC and just had a bad second half in the NEC semifinals to snap a 7-game winning streak, and they were the hottest team in the conference at the time. They were up 15 on St. Francis, the eventual conference champion, on their home floor in the semis, and lost on a foul of a 3-point shooter in the final seconds. They felt like last year was the year that they were going to make the jump and make the NCAA tournament. They were feeling really good down the stretch. They were, again, the hottest team in the league at the time, and it just didn't happen. So you got to continue to learn how to win those games, right? And then in the offseason, that main core, a lot of them entered the portal. A lot of them ultimately chose to come back. Malachi Davis, Jamal Fuller, Shadrach Lasso are the 3. And then they added good players around him. Greg Gordon, Jomo Goings, some of the guys that you see on the top of the stat sheet and in the starting lineup were additions this offseason around that core. So it's been a slow build, and it's been a build where you can work a basketball life and still not have a simulation of how to be a head coach. You have to learn. And I think that's what, if you talk to Rod, he'll tell you, I've had to learn a lot of these things for the first time.
It's interesting you use that phrase. We're live streaming our video here, and the headline I've got on this interview is "Learning Long Island." We're chatting with Phil Constantino. He is the broadcaster for the Long Island Sharks. They'll take on the Wildcats. Both these teams very similar in that they won their regular season conference titles as well as winning their tournament conference titles. Obviously, though, for a team like Long Island, they've got to win their tournament conference title to get in. How do you describe the pressure of that, Phil? Because obviously we saw what happened with Miami not winning their conference title. Still, obviously, though, because of what they did, being able to get in. But this is a team Long Island did not have that luxury. Y'all had to win your conference tournament to get to this point.
So think about it this way. Go back to the preseason. I just mentioned you have those main core guys coming back. LIU was preseason unanimous number 1 in the NEC. That doesn't happen that frequently. It also hasn't happened very frequently in the NEC that the number 1 seed in the conference tournament gets through and wins the conference tournament after winning the regular season. That CCSU, for example, Central Connecticut State, has been upset multiple times as the number 1 seed in the last few years, and despite great regular seasons, has not gotten through. And then you add to it the unique situation that there are some schools transitioning still in their reclassification process coming up from Division II. So LIU actually clinched its spot by winning the semifinal game.
Yeah.
But then had the pressure of having to win the championship game, because who wants to be that team limping into the NCAA tournament as a technicality?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be that team. So there's the pressure of getting it done and the pressure throughout the season and all the hype and the expectations at the beginning of the year, then managing that through the year, and then all of a sudden you get to the conference tournament, you're shockingly in earlier than you expect with a win over the 7 seed in the second round of your conference tournament.
Yeah.
And then you got to show up on Tuesday night. You got all the hoopla about the viral fins up movement and the attention and the cameras that are now also in your gym that you didn't usually have. And you have to manage that. So credit to Rod and his staff for managing that. Credit to these players for making it that there was a focus. They wanted to win a championship. Even if they already clinched the NCAA tournament, they wanted to be the NEC champions. They did not want to limp into the NCAAs.
Speaking of fins up, I had Greg Gordon. I caught up with him in the locker room earlier, and he did his version of that. Greg Gordon, Defensive Player of the Year. What makes him such a great defender on this team for Rod Strickland?
More than anything, Greg Gordon. I'm sure you learned this when you would talk to him in the locker room. Coach Rod calls him Mr. Personality because it's not uncommon for him to, when we go on the road, just walk the lobby like he's a politician and talk to everyone and get to know everyone. He's a fun guy, just a great kid. Long, athletic, strong. His ability to affect plays defensively, get hands in passing lanes, His ability to just stymie ball handlers and reach in and get deflections on passes, deflections on a dribble drive, and turn that into offense at the other end is an electricity in our league that you just don't see. It's abnormal. And it's funny because he was a second-team all-conference guy. He was our third leading scorer. LIU's got two other guys that score more points. But when push came to shove, there's an argument to be made that Greg's the best all-around player that LIU has. And come conference tournament time, he was the tournament MVP because he just completely wreaked havoc and did exactly that. Tips, deflections, leading the breakouts, and that's what this team wants to do. They want to get out and run with everyone.
Phil Constantino is our guest. He is the play-by-play man for the Long Island Sharks, another guy that's been a leader on this team, a guy that we saw actually as a freshman, not play much, but he was on the roster at Arizona State out in the Pac-12 Conference. Malachi Davis, now one of the leaders on this team. What has Malachi been since coming into this program?
Well, Malachi's just a fantastic scorer. And at our level in the NEC, he really stands out. Last year, his first year at LIU, probably should have been the player of the year. He's had to learn over time how to fit with the different parts, sometimes learn the hard way. Always could fill it up. What I give Malachi a lot of credit for is you have all the expectations. So he's a preseason first-team all-conference player. He's the guy who's expected to be the NEC player of the year at the start of the season. Again, very easily could have been it last year, finished runner-up in the voting, probably should have been the player of the year last year. And he has found a way with the improvements of Jamal Fuller, who's actually LIU's leading scorer this year, with the addition of Greg Gordon, the addition of Joe Mogoing, some of the new guys. He's found a way to become a little bit more of a facilitator. His assist numbers are up. He's matured and grown as a player in a way that if you're an LIU fan, you can see the stark difference from last year to this year. He is the linchpin of all of it. The whole championship expectations, the unanimous preseason number one. He entered the portal after last year, as a lot of kids do nowadays. It's kind of an expectation. But then he chose to come back to LIU. And that sort of set in motion other guys coming back. That set in motion a little bit of a hot recruiting period where people now wanted to join this team that's expected to win. So he's sort of the linchpin of all of it, even if the numbers don't necessarily say that his numbers are the best on the team this year. He really, in many ways, makes it go.
Phil, what in your mind does LIU have to do to win this game and become the third team to upset a number one? We almost saw it happen today.
Yeah. Well, this is not.
You guys aren't going to play. You guys aren't going to play everybody 40 minutes, are you? Like Sienna did.
No, I don't think we're going to play. The rotation will be about 7 or 8. I don't think we're going to play 5 for 40 minutes. That would be completely abnormal. That was a great game earlier. We were all watching it here at the hotel. I mean, you guys got a good team. Arizona's a good team this year, and I think there's a real argument with some of the injuries that Duke has had, some of the other top teams that have floundered a little bit down the stretch, that Arizona's the best team in the country right now. So there's no question that this is a tall task. I ask Rod Strickland in pregame interviews all the time, what's the key to the victory today? What's the matchup today versus the opponent? And he goes back to 3 basic principles every single time. And, yeah, Arizona's a great team, but he loves his guys, and he'll take his guys into battle against any opponent following these 3 principles, and that is they need to defend, they need to rebound, and they need to be the tougher team. And if you ask him what the keys to the game are for any game, those are the 3 keys that he will tell you every single time. And I first heard it, I thought it was a little coach speak-like, and then I kind of got to know Rod a little more, and I realized he genuinely believes this. And they've had some close calls against Power 4 teams this year. Teams not quite the caliber of Arizona, but had a close call against Mississippi State, who was a tournament team last year. Near upset of Georgia, who was ranked at the time and is a tournament team this year out of the SEC. So they've played these games against these high, upper echelon opponents. They've been able to keep a lot of them close, and they've been able to stay in it. And they certainly feel like they have the talent to be able to make it a game. And they feel that if they follow those 3 principles, defend, rebound, be the tougher team, that they're certainly not going to go out there and embarrass themselves, and you never know what can happen in March.
Let me ask you this question, Phil. We had Rob Doster from Field of 68 on the show the other day, and I asked him this because obviously you guys are essentially New York City, and there's so much money in New York City Rod Strickland's an NBA guy with a lot of connections. Could this be a school where you guys can get a lot of kids because there's, there is a large amount of capital in that region that where we are now with revenue share and all of that this could be a smaller school that could maybe build something like that if those avenues are there?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly always been the promise. There's certainly always been the promise at the school. I think some of the rules that have been relaxed probably favor schools in big cities in general now compared to schools in small towns. It used to be that you wanted to go to the school in the small town with a rabid fan base, and now it's a little bit different where money does have its influence in different ways, and the university being in the position that it's in, right in the middle of downtown Brooklyn, a hop, skip, and a jump across the pond across the river, I should say, from Manhattan, right down the block from where the Brooklyn Nets play. In fact, LIU in years past has played games at the Barclays Center. So yeah, there's tremendous opportunity. It's a great university. It's a school that athletically, if you look across the board, some of the things they've done in other sports is on the rise. And I don't doubt that what Rob's telling you. I certainly agree with. I don't know if it's necessarily correlated to the modern era, although I can see that. But it's certainly a school that's headed in the right direction. And I think the regrowth, the resurgence of the basketball program since the rebrand back in 2019 that a lot of folks know about, the resurgence of the basketball program at LIU is truly an example of how the school has grown and moved back in the right direction.
Well, then I got to ask you real quick here, Phil. As we were learning Long Islander in this week. So is the Brooklyn campus the main campus, or is it the Brookville campus?
So it's both.
Both.
It's both. It's truly a unique setup. The university in 2019 unified the two athletic departments. Used to be the LIU Brooklyn Blackbirds, which was the D1 school in Brooklyn, and then out on Long Island at Posts, about a 35-minute drive, no traffic, but oftentimes you hit New York City traffic. Was the CW Post Pioneers at Division II, a very prominent and successful Division II program. And in 2019, the university leadership decided to athletically and operationally merge the two campuses, rebrand as the Sharks. I think if you ask a lot of folks, being honest, the timing of it, maybe with COVID coming right after, hurt a little bit. But as the university has grown and people locally have started to understand who LIU is, it's been able to recapture some of the magic. Because if you go back historically, and I'm talking like 100 years ago, LIU Brooklyn basketball was the team of the decade in the 30s, according to the NCAA. Before Kentucky was a big deal. Before UCLA was a big deal. They had NIT championships before the NCAA tournament was a thing.
Wow.
And then even into its years as a mid-major program, LIU Brooklyn basketball was a very successful mid-major operation in the NEC. And LIU basketball as a whole, claiming that history, has been to the tournament now for the 8th time, and the first time here in the new in the Sharks era, and the first time since 2018. So it's actually it's a unique situation where the program has had a lot of tradition and a lot of success, but it is also in some ways a new operation. And I work between both campuses, and my staff works between both campuses, and football plays in Brookville at Post on Long Island, and basketball plays in Brooklyn and right in the heart of New York City. But it's a unique attribute that I think that very few other schools have. You name another school in the country that's right in the heart of downtown Brooklyn, New York City, and then has a equally as awesome campus among some of the most beautiful and valuable real estate in the country on the North Shore of Long Island. There's nobody else that has that. So I look at it as a tremendous attribute. And going back to your previous question, how the university can position itself and grow, that certainly adds to it because nobody else is operating the two campuses the way we are.
There you go. Phil, hey, have a great call of this game, first-round tournament against Arizona. We appreciate you taking the time.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
Phil Constantino, broadcaster for Long Island University. Roxy Bernstein going to join us next. It is DK on the Sports Tip coming to you live from San Diego at Vejas Arena. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. collisions eastbound I-10 near Speedway. That wreck off on the side of the road. Other wrecks at Ina and Shannon and also Park Avenue in Irvington. Some slowing westbound Speedway at Main Avenue and also on westbound Grant Road at I-10. We've got a heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. on Sunday. 65 and clear the low. Sunny 103 tomorrow, 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Whoever said opposites attract was definitely talking about the new spicy menu at DQ. Spicy flamethrower chicken strips served with a dip of sweet DQ soft serve. Sounds wrong, but tastes so right. The new spicy menu at DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating locations.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? Doing a lot of around the house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking the
stripping?
I took out the linoleum. I stripped out the linoleum.
Am I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care, a proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Lakers beat the Rockets last night, 124-116. The Lakers have won 7 in a row, and they are a game and a half up on the Timberwolves for the 3rd seed in the West. Luka Doncic leads the NBA in scoring with 33 points per game. Both Luka and LeBron James are starting to find their groove together, which for the West and the rest of the NBA is a scary thing to see. I'm Chris Black.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena.
All right, Roxy's ready.
Running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the
About 30
ones
seconds.
who get it done.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live from Vijas Arena here in San Diego, California. Cal Baptist is on the floor right now getting their practice in. St. John's didn't really do a whole lot. They came out and shot for about 5 minutes and left. Again, a lot of these teams held practices, full practices at other locations. This is more of like a show, but Cal Baptist is going through some motions, full court motions here and getting their things in. Rick Pitino's squad came in, shot a little bit, and the band took a picture and everybody left. So there we go. Let's talk some college basketball. Pleased to be joined by a longtime friend of the show, Roxy Bernstein. Roxy has called college basketball all season long with ESPN. Roxy, have you ever seen a first-round game where a team played pretty much all of their starters for 40 minutes like Siena did today?
That's crazy. That Jerry McNamara obviously knows his team better than we do, right? But you think at some point a guy or two is going to need a blow. They're going to need a breather to come out. And look, you have the extended timeouts, and I get it. That could kind of play in. But I was looking at something online, and somebody posted, I think that hasn't happened like since the early 80s. DePaul did it. The late Ray Meyer. I want to say it. DePaul did that in the early 80s. That was the last time something like that had happened. I know they finally got a sub, the final minute?
Yeah.
But still, that's crazy to think about. 5 guys going just about 40 minutes.
Roxy, I've got one of the teams I actually have 2 teams in the Final Four playing here in San Diego. I've got the Arizona Wildcats. I think this is the year they break that schneid. But I've also got St. John's. St. John's is one of those teams I think that is a sneaky favorite with what Duke is dealing with and the injuries that they're trying to overcome in this tournament. I like St. John's to get to the Final Four. Have you seen this team much this year?
I haven't seen them much. I watched them a little bit. But the one thing I've noticed, David, is how tough they are both mentally and physically. And I think assuming St. John's wins and Kansas wins, we're getting treated to a spectacular second-round matchup. Because, St. John's, and you got Rick Pitino going against Bill Self, and then arguably one of the best talents in the country in Darren Peterson in round 2, assuming Darren Peterson plays. Right? We've had this conversation before. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But it's funny when you look at the number 1 seeds, and Duke was supposed to be the number 1 overall seed. I think they have the toughest bracket as far as the number 1 seed goes when you look at the potential matchups along the way. And I didn't include them getting a battle from Siena today in that conversation. But as this thing progresses, I just think it's going to be awfully difficult for Duke. You had St. John's coming out of this one. I have Michigan State coming out of that bracket.
Roxy Bernstein is our guest, ESPN College Basketball. One of the bad things about the breakup of the Pac-12 is we don't see Roxy quite enough at McHale Center and on Arizona Basketball. I think you had maybe 1 or 2 games this year that you saw U of A?
I had two. I had the game up in Phoenix against San Diego State.
Right.
And I had the Cats against TCU in Fort Worth.
So what was your impression?
This is, and we were just talking about the toughness that St. John's has. This is, to me, the toughest and most physical team that Tommy Lloyd has had. And my only concern with Arizona is what happens if one of the guys goes down.
Right.
They have 8 terrific guys that fit that rotation. They have it all. They have youthful talent and offensive firepower. They have veteran presence and leadership. They defend. The knock I know that people have on them is, they don't shoot a lot of they don't shoot a lot of threes. But they're efficient when they do shoot threes. And I don't think that is a negative, to be honest with you. But they just pound the paint. They attack. To me, granted, I think this is Tommy's best team. And if you go check out ESPN.com, they have their broadcasters that made their predictions. I've got Arizona winning it all.
Wow. There you go. Roxy Bernstein leaning in to this Wildcat Nation right there. Roxy, in terms of, some of these upsets that we've seen in the first round, High Point having a chance to take out Wisconsin. I thought I was putting all my chips in with South Florida. I thought that was a team that might be able to get a few things done, but Louisville was able to hold them off. Who was your team that on the upset realm that you liked coming into this weekend?
Well, the one I liked was Akron against Texas Tech because, David, with Christian Anderson's injury situation, how the groin is.
Right.
And then without J.T. Toppin, I felt, the 12-5, the High Point was potential, but Akron was the one I probably liked the most. And we'll see how that plays out. But at least we're getting the return to the craziness in the first day, right? Because last year we had so much chalk. And in this day and age of college basketball where it's the haves and the have-nots and the players going to the power programs and the money and they're getting players and NIL and the advantages that these bigger programs have, you were seeing, I think, more of a division. At least that's the way it felt last year, the way the NCAA tournament went, especially with all the 1 seeds going to the Final Four. But this year it looks like we have some of that craziness back with a 12-5 already, with High Point beating Wisconsin. Not that like TCU beating Ohio State isn't much of an upset with a 9-8. But we have some of that, and that's good to see, and I think it's great for college basketball when we get some little upheaval.
Roxy Bernstein travels the West a lot with our guy, Corey Williams. Roxy, I'm waiting for you to just show up at one of these games next to Corey with a bow tie on as well. Have you not has he not convinced you to wear a bow tie one night?
That's his look, David. I can't steal that, and I can't pull it off. I'm not as pretty as Corey is, So I have to just play it vanilla and let Corey shine because that's what he brings that, and everybody knows that's his look. Okay, what color's the bow tie going to be tonight? What's Corey bringing tonight?
Yeah.
And he had a good combination. He and I did an NIT game last night at Cal, and he had a strong look with the purple going. So, I'm going to leave that to Corey. Look, if I didn't pull off a tie-dye sitting next to Bill Walton, I can't steal Corey's look either.
Roxy, I can't have you on and not talk some baseball because you and I are both big baseball guys, and obviously we just had the World Baseball Classic. I thought, and I want to get your thoughts on this, that there was more excitement for the USA hockey team playing for a gold medal than there was for the USA baseball team playing for a World Baseball Classic, and baseball is our country's pastime. Did you get that feeling, and why do you think that is?
I did, and in some ways I felt the WBC was kind of being, I don't want to say shoved down your throat, but it was something that was being pushed, and it wasn't organic and natural. The Olympics happen every 4 years. And I know this is the World Baseball Classic, but let's face it. You look at Team Italy, there's mostly American, right? You look at Team Israel, all Americans. I mean, that's the way it kind of goes in these events. Team Great Britain, mostly American. But the Olympics, I think, because also it was played at such a high level in mid-season, right? We're still in the midst of spring training. We're not really baseball invested yet. And I think the timing of the WBC as opposed to the Olympics has a lot to do with it as well.
Roxy, a lot of people maybe don't know, but you were very good friends with the actor Eric Dane, who recently passed away. What was that relationship?
It's been a tough few weeks, David. Eric and I grew up together, and we've been friends since elementary school, since we were 6, 7 years old, and we've stayed good friends over the years. It's just so tragic for his family, and I'm so sad for his daughters, his wife, his mom, his brother, who I still check in with pretty much on a daily basis just to see how he's doing. And that's the ugliness of this disease that he battled, trying to fight ALS, and he was scrambling for some type of cure if it was possible, or at least to prolong his health. And it's really sad how fast he went. Look, it's great when you see people live a long time, but they know it's a death sentence, right? And unfortunately, it takes a toll on your body, even though your mind might still be sharp. But physically, it just drains you of all your power.
Yeah.
And that's the one silver lining, David, is he's not suffering anymore.
Yeah.
And it was fast. Unfortunately, it was very painful. It was painful for people around him who saw him when he was struggling. And it's just been a hard few weeks. And, he was my fantasy football partner for years.
Oh, wow.
We were in a league with guys we grew up with, and we were partners, and we won the league championship a few times. He was a huge sports fan, huge. Growing up in the Bay Area, loved the Giants, the Warriors, the 49ers. He was an Oregon football fan because his brother Sean went to Oregon. He loved the international soccer game, especially the Premier League. He was a huge tennis player as well.
Wow.
And it was really tragic to see what happened, and the world lost a special talent and just a tremendous person.
Well, my condolences to you, Roxy, but I appreciate you sharing with folks a little bit about the Eric Dane you knew that those of us who just saw him as an actor did not know. What's your next NIT assignment?
Saturday night, I got the Hawks St. Joe's coming out to the Bay Area, taking on Cal in round 2.
Okay.
And I've already got a lunch bet on it with Joe Lenardi, not only the bracketologist to the stars.
Oh, is he a St. Joe's guy?
He's a St. Joe's alum and a proud alum. And so I reached out to Lenardi already. All right, we got lunch on this one, Joe. Let's go.
Well, it'll be good to hear you back at the Haas Pavilion for sure. Hey, Roxy, I appreciate you, man. We'll talk again soon.
Anytime, David. Take care, buddy.
Roxy Bernstein, ESPN College basketball as well as baseball. Let's get that wraps up our first hour. Brian Peterson is going to join us from AZ Desert Swarm. We'll talk about this game coming up tomorrow, Arizona and Long Island with him. It is DK on the Sports Tip. We are coming to you live from the Vihas Arena. It is NCAA Open Practice Day, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions reported eastbound I-10 near Speedway, that earlier collision was off on the side of the road. Other wrecks reported at Ina and Shannon, Park Avenue in Irvington, and also 4th Avenue closed between University Boulevard to 8th Street for the street fair, with the exception of 6th Street, which will remain open.
You're good.
Clear 65, the overnight low. By the way, heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. on Sunday. Sunny and 103 tomorrow, 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
The fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
I'm going to
Having trouble
Have you
sleeping?
come a little bit
Visit
this way?
Mattress
It's like,
Firm
there we
during
go.
the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon.
You and
at
Steve
tobaccobarntucson.com.
stand together? Or?
Now for
Yeah.
you, high prices, I dare ya. That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
He usually just sleeps.
Oh, you do the driving and he sleeps?
I'm an Uber driver.
That's true, you are. Yeah, that works, right?
He's just not a paying customer.
I hope he sprung for some gas.
Yeah, he bought gas in Arizona. He won't buy it.
Oh, yeah, I stopped in Yuma. And I was like, I'm not. I don't think it was that big of a difference.
No,
though,
it's
to be
only a
honest.
little more than $1.
Yeah.
And actually, we got it for under $4 in Yuma, so it's cheaper there than Tucson.
That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-857-8866. That's 800-857-8866. 800-857-8866.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-proof protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
So hot. All right, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live from San Diego for the NCAA Tournament, Vijas Arena. It is the NCAA practice day. We're sitting courtside here as we watch Cal Baptist go through their warm-up drills. Pleased to be joined by Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm. He has been on the show before, covers all things Arizona athletics, especially football, men's basketball, and baseball. Brian, always great to have a chance to chat with you back in San Diego, the site of Tommy Lloyd's first NCAA Tournament. I was joking on the way over here. Are we going to get anybody that's going to put somebody in a body bag like Ben Matherin did to TCU back 4 years ago?
I mean, it's entirely possible with the way that Arizona's played this year and an opponent like Long Island that doesn't really have a lot of size. I mean, there could be some monster dunks depending on how the Sharks decide to defend Arizona. I think that they're going to try to pack the paint and force Arizona to shoot from three, but I don't think Arizona's going to fall for that. I think other teams have tried that, and they're still going to just try and play their game, and that's getting to the rim.
When you look at, obviously, this team, and one of the things we've kind of focused on the last few weeks is just, again, they found some different ways to win. I mean, they finally got into foul trouble the other night, which they had kind of, for the most part, avoided serious foul trouble, but they got there, and they were still able to fend off Houston in that 14-0 run to finish that ball game. That's the one thing that's marveled me is just, they've been faced with some guys being out of the lineup. Found ways to finish and win those games with Anthony Del Orso's, emergence towards the end of the season. That has been, I think the most remarkable thing to me about this team.
Oh, sure. And it's amazing to think that 14-0 run by Houston was the first quote-unquote kill shot that they've given up all season in a meaningful game. They did a 10-0-1 by Norfolk State in garbage time back in November, but they've been able to avoid having those. And you'd think, okay, well, something like that happens and that could be bad. But they've had several games this year where they've given up a big lead, but then just go right back ahead or just pull away again, and that was the case there with Houston. It seems like every possible thing has happened to them, and they've still won, with the exception of maybe having both offense and defense struggling at the same time.
Brian Peterson is our guest. AZ Desert Swarm, Wildcats in Long Island to open up the NCAA tournament. Obviously, everybody's kind of was keeping an eye on Jaden Bradley in the warm-ups today. He was not wearing anything on his hand. I don't think they would tell us if there was anything wrong with it. What are you looking for early from Jaden tomorrow to indicate that he's good, or at least as close to 100% as he can be?
Sure. Well, when he came back into that game against Houston, it was heavily wrapped, the left thumb and left wrist, but he was still using both hands with his dribbling and his passing, all that. He only took maybe one or two shots, and they didn't look particularly good, and it probably was sore and all that, so he just found other ways to distribute. But that's kind of been the thing with Bradley. He doesn't do the same thing each game. Sometimes he comes out and he's taking shot after shot. Then you have a game like Colorado where he didn't score. So if he's out there taking the shots early, that is a great sign because he thinks that's what's necessary for this game. But if he's not putting up shots, that may not necessarily be an indication that there's a problem. Just more that's just not what he thinks is needed at this time.
And the thing I think that I saw just when he came back against Houston was he was still aggressive on some drives to the basket, and he takes so many hits when he goes in there. You'd have thought, well, maybe if the hand wasn't right, the offhand, because he often uses that arm to shield some of the brunt of that he would have not maybe done that.
Yeah, I didn't see anything too concerning as far as the way he approached on that. And all these guys have banged up. I mean, when we were in the locker room before, Koa Pete still has that right calf getting heat treatment on it to be able to keep it from going. Braden Burry's had stuff on his left thigh and calf during the Iowa State game when he struggled. Those bumps and bruises are going to happen. They're all going to play through it. I mean, you had Kirk Risa 4 years ago come back from that high ankle sprain way sooner than anyone would have expected. And then the following year, Umar Bralo played with essentially like a broken hand. These guys are going to play through this stuff, and you just have to hope it doesn't have too much of an effect on them.
Are you surprised Jaden Bradley won Player of the Year?
Yes, a little bit, just because I know that numbers do play a big role in the way people perceive. But Tommy Lloyd, I probably put it best and said that the coaches don't really look at the numbers. They look at what that player did against them. And considering the amount of closing shots that Bradley hit this year and the amount of scoring he would do late in games and then in other games where he was just the aggressor early and leading to a blowout, that's what they remember. They don't remember the line. I mean, A.J. DeBanza had an incredible line against Arizona the second time they played, but they also lost the game. So which really matters more in that respect?
We're chatting with Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm, Wildcats, and Long Island coming up. The other thing 2 days ago came out was the AP All-American teams. surprised that Jaden wasn't at least on one of those teams.
Not really. I'm not surprised that they didn't have anybody on any of them because it kind of fits in with the narrative of this team that it's 7-8 guys that are all contributing as one, and they haven't had anyone that's dominant. Probably the closest one who has been like dominant would be maybe Burries, but even he has some bad games. And Bradley, I think that there's too many really good point guards. I don't think that means he wouldn't have a chance to win the Bob Cousy Award because maybe that's a different type of thing with voting and whatnot. But I just think that there was too many guys at that position where he was going to pop up on there.
Who was your upset in your bracket? I had South Florida. It didn't happen.
I had Troy beating Nebraska. I just thought that while everyone kept pointing out that Nebraska had never won a game, I thought that might actually just continue to be the case. But Nebraska was very, very aggressive from the start and was doing everything right. I did not have High Point, Wisconsin, though I'm sure Arizona fans are very, very happy to see that, considering the amount of them that lost their minds when they saw Wisconsin as a potential Sweet 16. The amount of PTSD that was going through the fan base on Sunday, looking for reasons that things are going to go wrong and pointing to that. So that was that. But I have other upsets that could potentially happen. My other big one would be Illinois losing to Penn.
Ooh.
I find it funny that you have Fran McCaffrey was pushed out of Iowa because he couldn't win enough in the Big Ten, and then he immediately gets back into the tournament, and he could beat an Illinois team that could beat anybody, but has been very inconsistent. And it would also be kind of bittersweet that Kylan Boswell's first and last NCAA tournament games would be against Ivy League teams if that were to happen, since his first one was in 23 against Princeton.
You think Sean Miller's making Ryan Anderson sit behind the bench?
I think it might be one of those where either they have a leash on him, or I don't know if college basketball has like college football where they have the get back guy who holds on to the back of your belt loop on your pants to keep you from going out there. But oh man. And anybody who's followed Arizona knows that like they saw what Sean did in his reaction and going at him and then turning away and then going back at him again. Everyone's like, "Yep, okay, I remember that." Yep, there was about a dozen years of that. So
yeah, I said on the show yesterday, I said if you ever sat courtside, Sean Miller, when he got mad at a player, the famous phrase was "Get the F off the floor." I said that was exactly what he said to Ryan Anderson after he ran out onto the court at the end of that game. The other night, but that'll be an interesting. That was another one I lingered on a while. Was BYU Texas because I think, but I'm going to stick with BYU. I think I've got them in the Sweet 16, but losing. I lingered on them playing Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. I think and. I ended up going with Gonzaga because I really do want to see Gonzaga, Arizona.
Yes. I think a lot of people want to see that because of the connections there. I think BYU, now that they're in this situation where like AJ DeBansa you've seen how much he's had to kind of carry this team. And for a little while after Richie Saunders went down, they didn't have a way to make it work. But then they looked a lot better in the Big 12 tournament, where I think they had a little bit more of a mindset of what we need to do. We're still going to have him get the ball almost on every possession, but we need to make sure that there's other people contributing. And he could, I don't know what the freshman record is in the NCAA tournament in a single game, but he's probably going to have a chance at going at it because for all that is said about some freshmen here in the country, DeBansa I've never seen take a playoff. The game that they lost in Tucson in February, he was still chasing after loose balls in the final minute when it was like a 3 or 4 possession game, which easily could have been a business decision type situation where he's like, we're probably not going to catch up in this one, so I don't want to hurt myself. But I haven't seen any of that from him.
All right, our guy Saul Bookman from PHNX said he got here early to play some golf at Torrey Pines. Is there any good poker happening in San Diego?
Well, I have already made one trip to my second home in San Diego at the Sequan Resort.
Okay.
Yeah, myself and another writer, Steve Rivera, were there last night.
I forgot. Steve's a poker guy too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Steve is the one who, on the drive-in, was like, so when are we going to go play poker? And so we went last night. We'll probably be there tonight, Saturday. Sunday, all of these different days because we're here. I mean, gosh, 3 years ago in Sacramento when Arizona was out in the first round, we spent more time at Thunder Valley Resort about 40 minutes away than we did in the arena because we were there for maybe 3-4 days and Arizona was done in 2 hours.
I'll never forget a few summers ago, we went and saw Yachtly Crew out at Ava Amphitheater, and after the show, I'm keeping his girlfriend company at the bar while he was playing poker.
Yeah, that might be. I wonder if that's one of the ex-girlfriends now. So, but yeah, no. Steve enjoys poker. He's more of a cash game guy. I'm more of a tournament guy, but I just don't have that opportunity here. But I do want to say for the record that I beat him in every pot that we played last night, and I did win while he finished down a couple dollars.
All right. Brian, hey, appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Have fun on this trip right here. Brian Anderson. He played baseball here. Brian Peterson from AZ Desert Swarm. Cricket joins us now back in Tucson. Cricket.
What's up?
It is the last day of winter.
It is.
But was it really ever winter?
No, it was not.
It's 90 degrees here in San Diego today.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, how hot is it right now in Tucson? I heard we were supposed to break the ice, I think, today. Have we gotten over 100?
We did. It was like around 2:15 or something.
Oh,
like
wow.
That. Yeah, so we're sitting at 101. Lucky us.
Cricket's got quotes.
I do. It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light and winter in the shade. Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens had spring quotes? We all equate Charles Dickens to Christmas.
Yeah, well, no, apparently he hits up all the holidays, I guess.
Okay, one more time.
It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light and winter in the shade.
There you go. I love it. Cricket's got quotes every day right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket, you ever been to San Diego?
Yes.
Yes. What's your favorite part about this city?
I liked the area near the beach where they're selling all that touristy stuff.
Okay.
I liked walking around there and just looking at the stuff. I liked people watching. I wanted to rent a bike, but I just never did. But I just like the sun, the shine, the smell of the ocean and hanging out on the beach and getting a tan, but getting a sunburn.
There you go. All right, Cricket is getting you. Cricket, Kansas is here now. The Kansas Jayhawks have just arrived for their practice. Bill Self, who there's rumors he might retire after this season. They've got the best player in the country, Darren Peterson. So the Kansas Jayhawks have arrived. Cricket is getting you home right now every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Earlier crash eastbound I-10 near Speedway has cleared. There might be some really light residual slowing there on eastbound I-10 near Speedway. 4th Avenue closed between University Boulevard to 8th Street for the street fair through Sunday, with the exception, of course, 6th Street will still remain open for through travel. We do have a heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. on Sunday, 65 and clear overnight. Sunny, 103 tomorrow and 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, John,
Bill Self.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this. Have you thought about my computer career? I've heard they can
Speaking of Bill Self, he just walked by.
Including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career. Wow, thanks.
I don't know what's going on, why this second camera won't
and
work.
take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
You know that big bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Once upon a time, our family had trouble with pests around our home. Did you know that stinging insects send tons of people to the hospital? And teeny ticks and mosquitoes can be all around the yard. Their bites can make people and their pets sick. Mice, rats, and roaches need food and water just like us. You do not want them to visit. They can spread disease and make it hard to breathe. I'm sure glad this story has a happy ending.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around the house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took out the linoleum. I stripped out the linoleum.
Am I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe? No-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m.? Big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas? The ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk. Real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plan. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's 72-hour sale is happening now. Save up to 72% off on top brands, with queens starting at $149.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
When I found out my son was smoking weed, I thought it was just part of adolescence.
But then I found out how powerful weed is now.
When teens use vapes or dabs, the potency can be 80 to 100% THC.
Use of high THC products by youth can cause hallucinations, cannabis-induced psychosis,
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts,
planning, and attempts.
Just Say No, KNOW. Go to justsayno.org today for the facts.
A public service message from Johnny's Ambassadors.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
Vihas Arena here at the San Diego State University campus. We apparently have lost one of my cameras. I was trying to get the camera for the floor working, and as a result, I killed the camera that's on me. So we'll see if we can get that corrected. Right now, I'm going to show you a shot of the floor, and you can see a little bit of Kansas practicing here at the Vihas Arena. They are one of the teams that is here in the East region of this tournament. Kansas will play Cal Baptist. They just got wrapped up, so I think this is the final practice of the day here today. The Kansas Jayhawks, as St. John's and Northern Iowa are the teams on the other side of that bracket right there. 520-848-1290 is the number. If you'd like to get in on our program, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We had a chance to catch up with a number of your Arizona Wildcats during their time here at Vihas today. Let's hear from Ivan Karchinkov, freshman wing, who shared an interesting story with Brian Jeffries on the Coaches Show this past Sunday. That is the band from Kansas you are hearing here. And I wanted to kind of find out a little bit more about that. So let's hear from Ivan Karchinkov.
We got Ivan Karchinkov here. Ivan, you were talking on Sunday about some lessons that your dad taught you when you were growing up about shooting free throws. When did that start for you?
Right as I started, playing basketball with him, as soon as he started teaching me the basics. And I was short on many free throws, and then he implemented that rule that we stick to even during the game.
Why did he say not to be short? Like if you're going to miss on the back of the rim, I would imagine.
Yes, he said give the ball a chance to at least if you even super long, you can even bank it in. But if you're short, it's just going to cling off the front rim and never had a chance, basically. So basically, he's saying give it a chance to go in.
How many push-ups through your lifetime do you think you did? Missing free throws.
A lot, definitely a lot. During the game, it stays, 10. But, a lot of free throws, especially in my young age. But it got less over the years.
Do you still do that? Is that something like you say, okay, if I'm in practice, I miss a free throw, I'm going to get down and do my push-up still, or is that far gone at this point?
It's not far gone, but when I miss a couple of free throws short, I remind myself, let's not miss short. I would rather miss long, and then I just do a correction. It's basically my pops was doing it so I can correct myself easier.
Ivan Karchinkov is our guest, freshman forward for the Wildcats. What did it mean for you to have your parents in Kansas City last week?
A lot. I loved, looking in the crowd and my mom waving and my pops waving, or my pops nodding, not the biggest emotional guy, but no, it meant a lot. It's great, especially winning with my parents. Having the moment together is great.
When he's nodding, what's he happy about?
See me out there, just see me out there play. For him, whatever I do on the court would be good or bad. I can always be better. So just see me out there, and yeah.
Speaking of bank shots, the one you hit against Houston, did you think that ball was going in? Is that a situation that you work on late shot clock? I just want to try to get it up close, and if I gotta use the glass, I use the glass.
So me and Braden have a little connection. I'm always ready if he tries to go over the screen, he gets double teamed, and just wants to throw me a grenade, I told him I'm always ready to.
Grenade?
Yeah, because end of the shot clock. That's how we call it. And I told him, look, I'm always ready. And I knew he's gonna pass me the ball. When I released the ball, I didn't want it to be a bank shot. But then I saw the arc going left a little bit. I'm like, ooh, that could go with the bank. And then it did, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
You said on Sunday you really don't know a whole lot about March Madness, the brackets, and all of that. Are you aware of the term one shining moment?
You said what?
One shining moment. Are you aware of that term and what that means during the NCAA tournament?
I mean, it's probably the one time to shine, probably. I don't know. No, I mean it's game to game, and especially for the small teams, it's a chance to show themselves and present themselves on big television.
I'm going to tell you, one shining moment is a video anthem they play at the end of the NCAA tournament after the championship game. Have you ever seen that?
No, first time hearing it. No, I'm sorry.
What is that? I mean, for you, for not growing up or in this environment, the hysteria of this tournament, do you think that gives you an edge that keeps you calm this week?
Probably. Like, for example, people ask me, did you do a bracket? I'm like, no, I didn't do a bracket. I don't really care about it. I don't know. I just care who we play. And we play, our opponent tomorrow. And, that's all that matters for me right now.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, Ivan Karchinkov. Great to get a chance to chat with him. So, J-Dub, I said I was going to ask him that question, and he was not aware of one shining moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you showed it to him once, he would get it. Yeah, that's like such an American thing. And it's funny to me when you talk to a lot of European players, DK, who didn't watch the tournament. I mean, Ivan Karchinkov said, quite regularly, this just wasn't a part of his repertoire. Obviously, the time zone difference is a big deal. But the fact that, if you showed that, 1 minute and 30-second clip, DK,
right.
It's not a very long, of, all the adulation and the sadness and the joy and everything that is about. It doesn't take long to figure out what one shining moment's all about. But I can totally understand from a European standpoint that he obviously didn't grow up in that environment, doesn't really know what that's all about.
No. Had you ever referred to the last second shot as a grenade?
No, that's been a term for a decade. Yeah, that's been a term for like 20 or 30 years. They call any time that you a grenade, DK, is when a ball handler has the ball, and there's 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and instead of forcing a shot up themselves, they pass it to a teammate. So if you get a pass under 3 seconds, it's basically the grenade just means you're getting a pass and you have no choice but to look at the rim and shoot it as fast as possible. The reason they call it that is because you think about the guys who take their shooting percentages so seriously.
Right.
Right? Like, Steph Curry takes a lot of pride in shooting 40% from three. And he's not a guy who's passing up grenades to people. He's a guy who shoots from anywhere in the court. But there are some guys, especially in the NBA, they want to keep those shooting percentages up. You'll see them when they see defensive attention late in the shot clock, give the ball to a teammate because they don't want that going on their report card.
Yeah, exactly. So we learned a little bit there from Ivan Karchinkov. Great to get a chance to hear from him. Let's get one more in here before we go. I'm gonna shift. Let's hear from Anthony Dell'Orso. We had a chance to catch up with him as well prior to today's game. Delly on, again, his second time playing in the NCAA tournament here for the University of Arizona.
Tough to stop them down low. We got to make sure we continue to defend, continue to rebound, control the tempo of the game. Don't let any risks overweigh. Take the right shots. Don't turn the ball over. Just normal things that we've talked about all season. I think what we've normally done all season should be able to get us over the line in any game. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
How important has it been for you to show kind of your overall game? Because last year we saw you primarily as a jump shooter. At times, Tommy said that that's what he wanted from you. He didn't want you driving and that, but we've seen more of that this year. How important has it been for you to kind of show your ability to score at multiple levels?
Yeah, that's something that I've always thought I could do. And I think people don't understand there's roles on a team and there's different styles of, what guys have to bring. Last year was more of that shooting. This year we got multiple guys that can do multiple things. But in the off-season, I changed my body. I changed the way I approach the game, and that's helped me a lot. Being able to get in the lane, compete with the physicality, and also instill my physicality on people. So yeah, it's been fun to kind of showcase that and show the world kind of what I've been thinking I could do the whole time.
We've seen this team had to win a lot of different ways this year. What did you guys learn about last week when you were in foul trouble in that second half about closing out a game like that?
Yeah, you got to be smart with possessions. Obviously, like I said, don't turn the ball over. That's a big thing. Fouls, key fouls. This guy trying to get something out of here, but just play the game the right way. Be smart. I think that's something we pride ourselves on. High IQ basketball. And yeah, like I said, anyone can step up at any moment, and guys have stepped up in the past, and we trust we got the depth to back up whatever happens.
Jaden, give me a Delhi story.
Yeah, no, actually I got a question. Sorry. So during the playing, what do you do to kind of, other than sleep, to pass your time? Like, do you play any games on the phone? Any multiplayer games or anything?
Yeah, so like there's this offline games kind of thing. Holy shit, offline games, but there's a 2-player like little soccer game that we play. Typically, like me and him play. How does that go? Like, what do you think the record is?
I was gonna ask, like, who do you play with, and like, how's the matchup?
Yeah, so we normally play like me and you. It's like a little soccer game, and I think like it's pretty fair to say that like I'm up in the series by a fair amount.
I disagree.
Really? What do you think it is?
Playing right back, we'll get one in, and then next time when we're in here, we'll tell them.
Okay, yeah. Clown, such a total clown.
That keeps everybody loose, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, keep it normal. We would do this back in Tucson. We got to keep it in San Diego.
Anthony, best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Anthony Delorso and Jaden Bradley. Clown, he said. Jaden, see, there you go. That's a perfect example of Jaden Bradley keeping the locker room loose. You got to love that, J-Dub.
Clowns, yeah. I mean, come on. It's like, that's my favorite thing about a good locker room, DK, sport, in any sport, football, basketball, it doesn't matter, is that camaraderie and that behind-the-scenes stuff that we're not even privy to, but you can tell on the court how much they like each other. And a lot of it has to do, DK, with 2-on-2 soccer and stuff that, and all the Uno's games on the road and behind the scenes and that competition. The best competitors, they don't want to lose at anything. And, especially when you're playing against your brothers and your friends, that's the best time to win. So not surprised to hear that the trash talking is healthy and well and good.
There you go. All right, it is DK on the Sports Tip. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're coming to you live from Vijas Arena here in San Diego. It is the final practice of the day. The Kansas Jayhawks are here. So you got 2 teams from New York. You got 2 teams from the Big 12 here. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun playing some basketball in the first round in the East and West regions tomorrow. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to have some more for you as we will chat with Ryan Finley, the sports editor, I should say, out here at the San Diego Union-Tribune. He is the former sports editor at the Arizona Daily Star and a former beat writer for Arizona football. So we'll get Ryan's thoughts on the event here happening this weekend. Also, a special interview coming up for you. We're going to chat with Kevin Doyle as well. Kevin Doyle is the radio analyst for the University of Northern Iowa. He played basketball at Iowa for one Lute Olson. We'll hear from him coming up as well in the 5 o'clock hour. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions reported eastbound I-10 near Speedway, that earlier collision was off on the side of the road. Other wrecks reported at Ina and Shannon, Park Avenue in Irvington, and also 4th Avenue closed between University Boulevard to 8th Street for the street fair, with the exception of 6th Street, which will remain open. Clear 65, the overnight low. By the way, heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. on Sunday. Sunny and 103 tomorrow, 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed
with this rare hologram trading card.
Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. They have it. They even have
cozy parts that fit my car.
millions of signs, each with a story. eBay.
Top of the morning to you. You don't need the look of the Irish or a little leprechaun to protect your home from rodents, weeds, pests, and termites. Let Weedco protect your home from things that don't belong, so you can focus on the ones that do. Call Weedco at 549-1390 or visit weedco.services today.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya. Hooray! That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust. Call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
In the game of life, every point matters, especially when it comes to your loved ones. Score big for your family this March by securing life insurance with SelectQuote. Their team of experienced licensed insurance agents can help you find the right policy at the right price in just minutes. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote can help you score big on affordable coverage. Don't let the clock run out on your chance to protect your family's future.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-760-1010. That's 1-800-760-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-760-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Start your day with Drake C. Toll.
I'm Drake Toll. On the air from 6 a.m. to 9 Eastern, getting you to work every day. To do that with Westwood One, the Oxford University of Names in Sports Media. Buckle up.
Then Black and Abdallah.
That shot was insane.
Is that what you would say on the air?
You're the play-by-play guy.
Abdallah being testy. All right, here we go.
And Westwood One Sports Night.
Stay on the line, get on the call, talk about whatever you want. That's what we're doing on Westwood One Sports Night.
Westwood One Sports Talk. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
America has their Cinderella team as Miami of Ohio beat SMU last night. The Redhawks went undefeated.
Open here, or do you want to play one of these interviews?
Last night, they'll face 6-seeded Tennessee tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, you can play the regular open, and I'll just lead into it. Yeah.
I meant open segment, or do we have a pre-recorded interview?
Oh, yeah.
I'm editing like 4 things on the side too, so just keep me posted about when you want to do those 2 interviews we have left.
Yeah, we'll play the one here. We'll play the Kevin.
Iowa State, Northern Iowa guy. Okay,
right.
you're gonna intro that.
Plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. Does this sound like you?
It's 7 minutes, so we could definitely get it in and
like
get some more
to
on
be
the other
a
side.
million miles away.
You actually opened the segment. We can open with it. I mean, you don't have to set it up. It's self-contained if you want to just go to it.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn
tomorrow to open up the NCAA tournament. A number of teams are here as well from the West and the South regions. One of those is Northern. Is it South region, Kevin? I may have gotten. Yes, South region. Yeah. Kevin Boyle is here with me. He is the radio analyst for Northern Iowa. Not only is he the radio analyst for Northern Iowa, he is a former college basketball player at the University of Iowa, and he played at Iowa for none other than the legendary Arizona coach, Lute Olson. Kevin, appreciate you taking some time to join us. Take us back to Iowa City in the years that you were playing for Lute Olson.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here with you, Dave. I spent 4 years with Lute at the University of Iowa from 1978 to 82, and we had some success there with Coach Olson, of course. 1980, we made it to the Final Four, and that was the first Final Four Coach Olson experienced. And we ended up losing to Louisville in the first round, but had some great years with Coach. We tied for the Big Ten championship my freshman year when Magic Johnson was playing for Michigan State.
That team.
So he's as well known in Iowa as he is in Arizona.
How was he as a coach at that point in his career?
You know, he was just always a real professional person. I grew up in Chicago, and he recruited a lot of players out of the Chicago area when he was in Iowa City. But he was also a very defensive-oriented coach, high expectations for his players. He had a discipline that, you never question his professionalism and his coaching style. He was able to put together 4 or 5 guys or 6 or 7 players at one time out on the court, and he just got the most out of them. And we were just really sorry to see him leave Arizona, but happy to see him win some national championships at the University of Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have to ask you, because if I'm not mistaken, George Raveling replaced him there, or was there a coach in between?
Yes, George Raveling came in after him, and then Dr. Tom Davis came in after George.
So did you play it all for George?
Nope.
No.
I was there just for Lute Olson.
Okay.
Yes.
And obviously you were there. Coach Jim Rossborough was there as well. His longtime lead assistants. Give me your Coach Ross story.
Well, Jim loves to play. He loves to play tennis, and he loves to coach women's basketball. But tell him I said hello. I haven't spoken with him, but he was very instrumental in our success there as an assistant coach. I was happy to see him experience what he did at Arizona. Just a very nice individual, and he grew up in the Quad Cities and have some really great memories. He was there on the staff with Tony McAndrews. Kenny Burmeister was also with Lute at the time. And it's interesting, I do the radio for the University of Northern Iowa. And as I mentioned to you, Coach Jacobson, who's had success at Northern Iowa, is actually from the same hometown as Lute Olson, Mayville, North Dakota.
It is just six degrees of separation in college basketball. That is beautiful. How long have you been in the analyst chair with Northern Iowa? How did you come to that?
Yeah, I spent 12 years as an assistant coach after I got done playing basketball. I was drafted by the 76ers.
Oh, wow.
I didn't stick around too long because I had to beat out a guy by the name of Julius Irving.
Oh.
So I ended up going overseas for a while and spent 12 years with Eldon Miller as an assistant, and then got out of coaching and spent 25 years doing the color for Northern Iowa.
So now when were you with the Sixers?
The year they won it, 1983.
1983.
Yeah, with
wow.
Julius, Moses Malone, and Mo
Cheeks.
Andrew Toney.
I was a Laker fan then. They made me cry, I think. But all my family's from Philadelphia. My dad grew up there, so I remember them being so happy over that championship. Tell us about the Northern Iowa team you guys got out here this year.
You know, we just got done winning the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. It's the first time a team has ever won 4 in a row in that conference tournament. So we've got a bunch of guys that really play hard, very defensive-oriented guys. We don't have much size, but we're all skilled. We go from about 6'2" to 6'9", but we can all put it on the floor, take it to the basket. We've been really playing well offensively of late. So I think that's going to be key. We got to open up against St. John's, and we got our hands full. But, hey, crazier things have happened, and we're experiencing that today in the NCAA Tournament.
You know, you mentioned the Missouri Valley Conference. I went to high school in Normal, Illinois, and so I know a little bit about the Missouri Valley, Illinois State University. And I tell people when I was coming up, in the early to mid 80s, it was just the Valley and the basketball. You had Nolan Richardson at Tulsa. You had Dick Versace at Bradley. Bob Donewald was the coach for the Redbirds. I mean, you know, it was a crazy mid-major environment to grow up in that city and be a part of those games at Old Horton Fieldhouse. And they built the new arena right after I got out of high school. It's just a fun conference for college basketball.
Well, I grew up in Chicago, as I mentioned, Dave. I went to one of the city schools in Chicago, St. Lawrence, and I remember watching Doug Collins, who, of course, is a Illinois State grad. So, there's a lot of tradition in the Missouri Valley, and it's I think we were rated number 8 in all conferences this year, so it still is as competitive as it was when you were there.
Well, I'll tell you Doug Collins' story when he went on to become the head coach of the Chicago Bulls.
Just about a minute left here.
He brought his team down to play an exhibition at the Old Horton Fieldhouse. They had a rookie by the name of Michael Jordan. That sold out the building pretty good back in, I believe it was 1984 possibly. But that was an experience to see Michael come in as he was beginning his career and play down in Normal, Illinois. Was something special for sure. Kevin, hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Best of luck here this week with Northern Iowa and continued success with everything you're doing in college basketball.
My pleasure. Make sure you say hello to Coach Rosborough for me.
I absolutely will do that. Kevin Boyle, analyst for the Northern Iowa basketball team, a former player for the legendary Lute Olson. Yeah, how cool is that to get a chance to chat with a guy that actually played for Lute at the University of Iowa. You'll never, again, this is like I said, 6 degrees of separation here and when you're talking about college basketball and the folks you encounter and run into at these places. Just great to see those types of connections throughout the game that we follow here. All right, Kansas has wrapped up their practice, and so that's going to actually conclude the practice portion of the day. We've had some dignitaries where we're actually right next to the TV folks here for this particular show today. Kevin Harlan is here. I see PJ Carlissimo, who's the analyst on Westwood One. I'm not sure who the radio play-by-play announcer here for Westwood One is this weekend. It is not Ryan Radke, the Arizona Wildcat grad. I've not seen him here. Robbie Hummel is on the call as well in the analyst chair for the TV broadcast here. And Lauren Shahadi is the field reporter here. She's been sitting actually right next to us during our time here, and you'll know her if you're a fan of MLB Network, as she is a staple over there as well. So a lot of folks here this weekend covering this first round of the NCAA tournament. There will be 4 games here coming up tomorrow. All All right, in the 5 o'clock hour, Patrick Finley will join us here. We'll talk some Arizona basketball here. We'll talk some WBC, obviously, with him as well. Ryan, brother Patrick, the beat writer for the Chicago Bears, but Ryan, a huge baseball fan, grew up a San Diego Padres fan, and now back here in San Diego covering the teams that he grew up rooting for. I'll have to ask him about that, what it's like to cover and be the sports editor at the newspaper that covers your favorite team. I've obviously had that experience myself, having worked in my hometown for a number of years of Cleveland, Ohio. It can sometimes be very difficult to toe that line between your emotions as a fan and the work that you have to do as a journalist. Want to hear from you today, 520-848-1290. There are some chances to get in as we get into this next hour and talk some Arizona basketball with us. We'll let you hear as well from a few of the fellas. Still, Koa Pete, we had a chance to catch up with him. Toby Awaka, we'll also hear from Toby in the final hour of our show as we lead you in. Now, don't forget, we are on the air bright and early tomorrow, 7 a.m. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day tomorrow, leading you into a 10:35 tip-off here from the Vias Arena. Number 1 seed and number 2 ranked Arizona and the Long Island Sharks. Brian Jeffries, Ryan Hansen will have the call. They were here a little bit earlier when the Wildcats were practicing. They are definitely ready to go for tomorrow. I think I'll have to ask Ryan again, J-Dub. Ryan has this streak of, I think he's not missed a tournament game since the 90s. I mean, he has seen every single one of the Wildcats NCAA tournament games going back to some crazy year like 1994, I think, or something of that nature. I don't recall off the top of my head what it is, but I'll have to ask him when I see him again here tomorrow. All right, we'll get a top of the hour break in here, come back much more with you. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. 22nd Street closed between Tucson Boulevard and Cherry Belle Avenue. That closure for approximately 3 years. 22nd Street closed, Cherry Belle Avenue to Tucson Boulevard. Instead, you could use Broadway, Aviation Parkway, Silver Lake, or 36th Street instead. And I'm Cricket, and your weather. Heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. Sunday, 65 the overnight low, sunny 103 tomorrow, 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion is here. With a mint chocolate sauce, this treat was designed to be loved. Be sure to get the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion soon, because just like Girl Scout cookie season, it won't be here forever. Plus, don't forget to order your fave cookies on girlscoutcookies.org. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's and Girl Scouts of the USA.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you. You look like you were a million miles away. I've been reading this book. How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification. It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens. And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences tees off March 20th through the 22nd at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. Watch PGA Tour champions battle for the legendary Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. Plus, Friday, March 20th, the Tucson Conquistadors present